the thought of waking up and then checking notification on your phone to see that you've got X amount of sales on the product that you've invented, and realizing that that is more money than you would have made at your day job in the day, and you've just woken up. That is a ridiculously good feeling. It's hard to explain how satisfying that is. It's genuinely, I think it is one of the best feelings ever. And the reality of actually getting to the point where this happens is that it's going to take time. And like, you have an idea and you want to just get at it and go and bring your product to life and just like make it happen. And it's you will quickly come to realize that it's going to take more time than you initially expected. And you're going to want to feel that momentum and clarity on exactly what you should be working towards. And it's hard. It takes time and resilience, and you've got to stick with it, because it can just seem like there's just so many unknowns. There's an endless amount of things that you don't know, but you need to realize that you can learn. And it's not going to be easy, but it's doable, and it will take time. And it's not like it's not a single huge task. Like, it's not, okay, bringing a product to market, that's the big goal. It's like, cool, that's the goal. That just is one huge, overwhelming goal that is, where the hell do you even begin? You need to realize that it's a million, okay, it's thousands of little steps, and they're not individually super duper complex, right? But it's going to take time, and you're going to have to really be in the trenches and learn, and realize that learning is the goal, right? In the early stages, you're going to be so focused on the product and just realize you're going to eventually get to a point where you realize, there is so much lacking in your knowledge, that you really need to double down and just sit in the trenches and do the learning and fill in the gaps of your knowledge. And you're going to feel like an imposter. You're going to feel like it's an impossible task. If you look at a product, then you're going to assume, that a whole team of people made that happen. And maybe that is true. But we live in a time now where we have the technology and the capability to be able to rapid prototype, and genuinely make really, really high-end products with yourself, using contract manufacturing, you doing the design, or you can do your own manufacturing as well. But you just need to realize that it's going to take time. You're going to feel like an imposter, and for the longest time, it's going to feel like when you're going through these learning phases of building a product, and I'm just going to say building a business, because product is part of the business, right? If you don't have, all the other parts of a business, then there's no point in making the product, right? If you don't have a means to market the product, etc., 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 right? You're going to realize that if you're coming from a technical background, I'm an engineer, so I was like, I can do this easy and it'll be no problem at all. But then I just realized that I'm lacking all of the business side of things. So I just had to spend so much time learning all of that stuff. But it's just realize that it's not going to come fast, and you have to take the time to learn and realize that is valuable, and that is what is important right now. And it's a thankless thing. Doing all this learning, you're gonna just feel like you're not making any progress. But it's like building a sandcastle, like a full-size sandcastle, like a goddamn big sandcastle, and you're just shoveling sand. And then it's gonna get to the point, after a year, after 2 years, wide time scales here, that you turn around and say, holy shit, there's a castle that I've built. And it's just going to creep up on you. But when you're in it, when you're in the trenches, when you're doing the work, you just feel like you're just like pissing into the ocean. Like you're not making progress, and realize that is the work. That is where everyone quits. There's, like I said, it's not one big problem that you're solving. It's a million little ones. It's a million little things that you've got to just step over. And all of these little problems are opportunities to quit. And it just takes one of them, like, for you to quit. I've been working on my product now for about 2 years. And you realize that like the longer you stick with it, you realize like the people who you think maybe your competitors drop away, and or you'll just realize that they're doing things in ways that you might do differently. But it's sticking at it over the long period that matters. You can't quit in the trenches. That people quit. You just need to stick at it. You just need to stick at it. It's you need to stick at it. And if you have people who you can talk with, anyone who you know in real life who's starting a business, if you can talk to them, that's amazing. If not, try find like people online who are doing similar things, and see if you can reach out and communicate with them. That's something that I haven't done as much as I want to and think that I should. So I guess this is sort of a part of that as well. So maybe we can talk or whatever. But finding people and just finding someone who you can bounce ideas off, and it not be sort of your like direct like family or whatever, because they can just like be like, yeah, good on you, you know what I mean? Like if no one in your family's done what you're trying to do before, they're not gonna, they might not believe in you. They might like be like, yeah, good one, haha, but not actually, you know what I mean? Or they might just be like, yeah, your idea, and they'll just pat you on the back and be like, yeah, it's a great idea, but not actually give you the feedback that you need, and that can also be the same with friends, depending on the type of relationship that you have with your friends. But finding a people who can give you critical feedback, and this is another thing, you need to be totally willing to receive feedback, constructive criticism. You need to realize that you don't know shit, okay? Even if you do know shit, you don't know shit. And there's always more things to learn. You can take people's feedback and not use it if you don't think it's valid, but it's just, you need to be able to control your emotions and not feel like your idea, if someone is being, if someone's giving you feedback, you are not your idea. So you can't take that to heart. Because the goal is to make a good product, and that's the goal. All right, bit of a tangent, but it's find people. Subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna try keep making more of these videos talking about product development and sort of sharing my failures as well, like big time. And when I have issues, like I'm looking down here at the ground. I've got a bag of just hundreds of products that I've had issues with because of my error. My errors where I've specified O-ring channels incorrectly, and I've made issues where I've specified threads incorrectly, and just things like that, like silly issues. And then I've built tools to I'm not making those issues again. And anyway, so I'm gonna share those sort of little tools and calculators that I build just to try help and just explain when I make issues, explain why I've what happened, and sort of also when I'm making decisions around my business, I'm gonna be sort of explaining them in a way that's giving you my thoughts, my rationale behind the decision. So it's not just a blank decision. So you can apply it. You need to be listening with the context of your product and your business, and then apply it. I'm trying to give you my thinking so you can apply it to your own thing. Yeah, but you need to. When it comes together, it's amazing. When you get, like I said at the beginning, when you have a product and you wake up in the morning and you check your Shopify notifications and you've sold X amount of products, when you first hit that level where you go, oh my God, I made more money now than I would have at my day job. That feeling is ridiculous. When you wake up to have already made more money, you're like, okay, this is you just, the morning is just the coffee tastes better, the air is fresher. It's the best. It's hard to explain how awesome that feeling is. But it's, and not only that feeling is as well, you realize when you get to that point, you've done all this work, you are so much more you're so much more confident. You have proven to yourself over time that you can stick with things, and if a problem will arise, you've proven to yourself that you can solve the problem, and that, for you as a person, that is a huge thing. A huge thing for your confidence and your feeling of self-worth. You just feel you just feel like a better person. I don't know how to explain it. You learn. You've learned, and you can see all your learnings and your mistakes, which are just learnings. It. And And you realize now you've got all these new skills, and you go, you've got the momentum, you've got like, you're like the next product, or how am I going to change it? And it's like you've learned all this, and you go, oh my god, the next thing is going to be so much quicker and so much better, and you gain the momentum, and you can see it, and you don't have that at the beginning. And that's why it's the trenches, and it's, you got to slog through it, and it's hard. It is hard. It takes time. It's grueling. If I would naivety and and forward and like drive or determination, or you need to have the mentality of like, hell yeah, I can solve that problem, no worries, easy. And then you hit that problem and realize, oh shit, I can't solve that problem. I don't have the knowledge to be able to do that. That's where the naivety the naivety is the first part. It gets you there. And then you need to have the drive and the wherewithal to stick with it, to be able to go, okay, I can't solve this problem yet, but I'll figure it out. But I'll figure it out. But I'll figure it out. You know, like, and now with ChatGPT and these AIs, it's, you can figure it out, right? You can figure it out. You can learn. The knowledge isn't a knowledge is free now. It's there. You've just got to stick with it. People quit before they get to the point where they reach that compounding level of things that there's momentum now, it's moving. People quit before that. They don't get to experience that. People get stuck in the ideation phase, idea land, and never get the satisfaction of making a product that sells and that your customers enjoy, and that you get messages being like, this is good, this is, you know, like you get positive feedback, you get your, not many people get to that stage, and that sucks. All right, that sucks. It's, so you're probably feeling like it's an overwhelming situation, but you need to get rid of the doubt. You can't quit. It's your first product. You got to stick with it, and just have faith that if you stick with it, you'll make it. You just need to realize that you need to focus on learning. And like I said, the change from feeling overwhelmed and just doubtful, and once you have like the feeling from that to actually feeling good about yourself and self-confident and resilient, and I'm, you know, I'm comfortable being in the trenches because I know that I can solve that problem. That learning is proof that you can do it. It takes reps. You've just got to do it. And I believe in you. Genuinely, you just got to stick with it.